Okay then. So in the last class we have discussed regarding DC circuits part 1, where we have seen different nodal analysis methods, KCL, KVL, and DC circuit part 2 also we have started, and we have discussed regarding linearity and superposition principle, and we have seen some problems on superposition principle, and we have discussed regarding practical voltage source and practical current source, right? And I have discussed some problems also based on that. So now we will see uh, the two theorems are there. Apart from superposition theorem, we have Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem. Okay, so these two theorems are actually, if you are very specific or if you are interested only in one particular element in your entire circuit, okay, let's say if you have a complex circuit and if you are interested only in one element in that entire circuit, then we can actually reduce, except that element, remaining entire part of the circuit can be reduced to a very simple circuit. Okay, so that is the objective of these theorems. That means if you are really interested in knowing what is happening in one particular element, okay, how much current is flowing, what is the voltage across it, or how much power it is being drawn. Okay, so there is no need for us to see what is happening in the other part of the circuit. Okay, so in that scenario, we will actually try to reduce, excluding that element, remaining entire thing we will try to reduce to a very simple circuit. Okay, so these two theorems are basically used in that kind of scenario or in that kind of application. Okay, so if you see here, two more techniques that will be generally used for linear circuits. Okay, so one is Thevenin's theorem, another one is Norton's theorem. Okay, right. So what the Thevenin's theorem states is, it states that in a linear circuit, we have already seen what is linear circuit. Okay, it is possible to replace everything except the load resistor. Load resistor here means the element in which you are actually interested to observe or study what is happening. Okay, right, it could be one simple resistor or one particular branch. Okay, it could be, okay, only one simple element which you want to study. Okay, so except that load resistance, the entire, it is possible to replace everything except the load resistance with an independent voltage source. Okay, we are denoting the independent voltage source, we are representing with VTH because it's a Thevenin's theorem, we are calling as VTH. Okay, in series with a resistor that is called as RTH. Okay, the response measured as the load resistance RL will be unchanged. That means if you reduce, ex- excluding the load resistance, remaining entire part of the circuit you can squeeze or you can reduce into a simple circuit with a voltage source VTH, which is called as Thevenin equivalent voltage. Okay, VTH stands for Thevenin equivalent voltage. It is represented with an independent voltage source. Okay, VTH is called as Thevenin equivalent voltage. Okay, and RTH is called as Thevenin equivalent resistance. Okay, Thevenin equivalent resistance. Okay, so what it means is, let's say you see here there are two circuits. One is called as a complex network. It was given on the left hand side, and the load resistance RL is given. Okay, so now I want to study what is happening in this load resistor RL. Okay, so except that, whatever the complex circuit that is present is actually, we are actually, this entire complex circuit we are converting into a simple voltage source in series with resistance. This voltage source is called as Thevenin equivalent voltage in series with Thevenin equivalent resistance, RTH. Okay, so we have the, please switch off your mics everyone. Okay, so we have the complex network is actually converted into a Thevenin equivalent voltage VTH, and a Thevenin equivalent resistance RTH. Okay, so we can represent in this fashion. Then we will have the load resistance as it is in your network. Okay, so you can simplify, or you can straight away calculate what is current flowing, what is the voltage across load resistor. Okay, so this is called as Thevenin equivalent voltage, and this is called as Thevenin equivalent resistance. How to find out these two values from the complex network? So these two are actually, if you see the dotted line here represents the equivalent of the complex network shown here. Okay, so that means the complex network is simply converted into a Thevenin equivalent voltage, which is an independent voltage source in series with a Thevenin equivalent resistance. Okay, RTH. Okay, right. Only two elements, two parameters are there, and the entire complex network is converted into this form. How to convert that? How to know what is the value of ETH, what is the value of RTH for any specific network? That we'll see. Okay, that obviously depends on this complex network only. Okay, we'll see that. So another theorem, what it states is Norton's theorem. Okay, so this is actually a, inverse of what you have already seen in the Thevenin's theorem. What it states is, it states that in a linear circuit, it is possible to replace everything except the load resistor with an independent current source represented with IN in parallel with a resistance RN. Okay, the response measured as the load resistance RL will be unchanged. That means here you are converting the entire complex network into a current source denoted with IN in parallel with a resistance Rn. Okay, this Rn is called as Norton equivalent resistance. That's why it is represented with Rn. Okay, in the previous case, in the Thevenin's theorem case, it is called as RTH, Thevenin equivalent resistance. Here it is called as Rn, which is called as Norton equivalent resistance. Okay, actually, how to calculate these two, and that calculation process remains same. Okay, if you see this RTH and Rn will be same. If you consider any complex circuit, some complex circuit you have considered, and you have applied Thevenin's theorem, you have found out RTH, you got some value. The same value you will get for Rn also. In Norton's equivalent circuit also, you will get Rn and RTH will be same. Okay. In other way, if you see, right, you are simply converting the Thevenin equivalent voltage. Right. If you see in the Thevenin's equivalent circuit, you have VTH with RTH. If you apply source transformation to this, what happens? You will have a current source in parallel with a resistance. Okay. If you remember converting a practical current source into a practical voltage source, or a practical voltage source back into a practical current source, right? So these two are actually same. That means you are converting this voltage source with series resistance into a current source with a parallel resistance. Okay, right. So in Norton's theorem, you have one methodology to find out IN and RN. Okay, if you want, you can apply Thevenin's theorem, and at the end you can convert the Thevenin's theorem back to Norton's theorem, not equivalent current source with a voltage. Okay, both will give you the same result. Okay, anyway, we'll see that. So how to, these are the steps I have given. Okay, even though the steps seems to be, 5 steps are there. If you go to the example, you will clearly understand. There's nothing much complexity in that. All the, nodal analysis methods, whatever you studied till now, those only we will apply in the form of different steps. That's all. Okay. What it says is, first statement, it says that in a given a linear circuit, that means a linear circuit is given, rearranged in the form of two networks. Okay, let's say if you have a circuit, break the circuit into two parts. Okay, one is part A, another one is part B. Okay, network A is a network to be simplified. What it means? That means if you have a complex network that I want to simplify into a Thevenin's equivalent voltage or Thevenin's equivalent circuit, so network A is called as, is the network which you are interested to simplify. Okay, Network B is the nothing but a simple resistor. Okay, so if you want to study what is happening in load resistance RL, so network B will be simply RL. That's all. Okay, and remaining all part will come under network A. Okay, so second step, what it says is disconnect network B. That means you have to remove the load resistance RL. Okay, right. You have to remove the load resistance RL and define a voltage VOC as the open circuit voltage now appearing across the terminals A and B. So what it is saying is, if you have a complex network and if you want to find out what is happening in load resistor, except load resistor, remaining entire thing you call it as network A. Okay. Only the load resistance which is present you call it as network B. Okay. So disconnect network B. So disconnect means you have to remove it. Once you remove, what will happen? Some open circuit terminals will be there because RL is removed. Some open circuit will exist. Okay, that open circuit is called denoted as VOC. That means open circuit voltage across those two terminals is denoted as VOC. That is called as open circuit voltage. Okay, right. So you have to find out this open circuit voltage. Okay, that is nothing but your Thevenin equivalent voltage. If you find out that open circuit voltage, that is nothing but your VTH. VOC and VTH are both same. Okay. Next, you have to find out RTH. Okay. So how to find out RTH? Step 3 will say that turn off all your independent sources in the network to form an inactive network. Inactive network means there are no independent sources in your network. Independent voltage source you have to replace with a short circuit. Independent current source you have to replace with a open circuit. You know this, na? Current source you have to open circuit. We have already seen current source is equivalent to an internal impedance and infinite resistance. So that's why we'll open it. Voltage source is like a zero resistance. That's why we'll short circuit it. Okay. So to find out RTH, turn off all the independent sources in the network to form an inactive network. And if there are any dependent sources, leave them as it is. Okay. If there are any dependent sources, you simply leave them as it is. Then look into the terminals of the inactive network to find the RTH. That means you simply replace all independent voltage sources with a short circuit and all independent current sources with an open circuit. And if there are any dependent sources, don't touch them, leave it as it is. And if you are seeing from the open circuit terminals, okay, find out the equivalent resistance of the network. That's all. That will be your RTH. Okay, right. So connect the independent voltage source with VOC in series with RTH. That means VOC is nothing but VTH. You have to connect that with equivalent resistance RTH, which is Thevenin equivalent resistance. Okay, right. Do not complete the network. That means you are not connecting your network B back. You have disconnected load resistance RL. Okay, you are not connecting it back. Okay, okay. Then this circuit is called as Thevenin equivalent circuit of network A. Okay, so that means this is the same thing, right? If you have a complex network, you have to disconnect this load resistance. Across the open circuit terminals, you denote with a variable which is called as VOC. Once it is open circuited, find out that VOC, that is called as RTH, independent voltage source. Find out what is the resistance of this entire network when you are looking into the network from this right hand side. That means when RL is removed, open circuit terminals are there. If you are looking into the open circuit terminals, find out what is equivalent resistance. That is nothing but your RTH, Thevenin's equivalent resistance. Okay, right. So that the combination of VTH and RTH is called as Thevenin's equivalent resistance, Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Okay, then you connect network B back to the network A. That means you are simply bringing the load resistance RL and connecting it back. Okay, so now your entire circuit, if you see, you will have only VTH, RTH and RL. Okay, that is pretty easy to solve. Right, you understood? Break into two parts. open circuit terminals will be there. Find out open circuit voltage across the open circuit terminals. Keep it aside. What is the equivalent resistance of the entire network when you are seeing into the open circuit terminals? That you find out. That is called as Thevenin equivalent resistance, RTH. Connect VTH and RTH in series. Okay, that entire thing is called as Thevenin equivalent circuit of the complex circuit. Thevenin's equivalent circuit you have found out for the complex network. Okay, next you bring back and connect network B, which is load resistance. Then you can analyze the circuit, which is very simple. Once you see the problem, you will understand. Right. So what they are saying here, determine the Thevenin's equivalent circuit for the network faced by the 2 ohms resistor in the circuit shown and find current through 2 ohms resistor. Okay. They are saying find the Thevenin equivalent circuit for the network faced. That means network seen by the 2 ohms resistor in the circuit shown below. That means here you are able to hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So they are asking us to find out Thevenin's equivalent circuit on the left hand side of this 2 ohms resistor. They are saying the for the network faced by the 2 ohms resistor in the circuit. That means the entire network which is on the left hand side of this 2 ohms resistor, you have to find out the equivalent VTH and equivalent RTH. That means you have to break at this point. Okay, right. And this part is called as network A and this part is called the network B. For network A, you have to find out open circuit voltage, and for network A, you have to find out RTH. Okay, that's all. If you have done that, then your complex circuit has come into a simple VTH with RTH. Let's see how it does.
Sir, here 2 ohm will be considered as load.
Yeah, that's what they say. 2 ohms resistor is considered as the load resistance. Okay, right.
Okay.
So that's what it means. I am asking you to know what is the network. Find the Thevenin's equivalent circuit for the network faced by the 2 ohms resistor. That means network which is seen by the 2 ohm resistor. That means if I am standing at 2 ohms resistor, what is the equivalent which is seen from the 2 ohms resistor? Okay. So first job is you have to break the entire circuit into two parts. Right. So if you see here, I have given a dotted line. Right. On the left hand side of this dotted line is the complex network which you have to reduce to an equivalent Thevenin's network which consists of VTH and RTH. Okay. If you see this 2 ohms resistor, that is nothing but your network B. Okay. So you have made into two networks. One is network A, another one is network B. Second step is to disconnect network B. That means remove network B from your analysis process first. So I have removed it. Clear. And denote the voltage across A and B as VOC. Okay. VOC is nothing but VTH. Okay. In this scenario. Okay. So VOC with positive and negative polarity I have given. So now my first job is to find out what is the value of VOC. If I find that, that's all I have got VTH. Okay. So how to find out VOC? Can anyone say what will be the value of VOC?
The voltage division.
Calculating the current in branch 446 resistance that branch current, then multiplying it with 4 ohm resistance.
Okay. Okay. So first point is it is open circuit. A, B terminals are open circuit. That means no current is flowing from A to B. Okay. When there is no current is flowing from A to B, that means there is no current flowing through 5 ohms resistor in your circuit. The current flowing through 5 ohms resistor is 0. Okay. So the entire current will actually flow through this 4 ohms, and this 6 ohms. Okay. So your 5 ohms is also like not present in your circuit because no current is flowing through that. So if you see, if you want to find out current in 4 ohm resistor, what will be the value of that?
9 by
4
4
divided by
9 by
4 plus
14.
4 plus 6 into
Yeah.
9.
9 divided by 4 plus 4 plus 6. Okay.
Mm.
If I ask you current, V by total resistance, 5 ohms is not present in your circuit because no current is flowing in that. Okay. So the resistance which is present in your circuit is 4 ohms and 6 ohms. Okay. So 9 divided by 4 plus 4 plus 6, that is 9 divided by 14 will give you current flowing in this circuit, and it is completely flowing in this. So if you want to find out voltage across this 4 ohm resistor, simply multiply that current with 4 ohms. That will give you VOC. Or you can apply voltage division rule also. Voltage division rule states that to find out VOC, which is nothing but VAB, is equals to total voltage into corresponding resistance where you want to find out the voltage, that is 4 divided by total resistance in the circuit. I mean total resistance which are present in series. Remember, voltage division is applicable only when the circuit is in series. That means the current flowing in all the three resistors is same. So that's why these three all are series. Okay, so total voltage into 4 divided by 4 plus 4 plus 6, that will also give you VOC straight away, which is 2.57. Is it clear? So to find out VOC, you have to break into two networks. One is network A and then is network B. Disconnect network B. Denote the open circuit terminals as VOC. Find out that VOC. In the present scenario, the current flowing from after open circuit, there is no current flowing through 5 ohms resistor. So entire current flows in this fashion. So it means all these three resistors are in series. So you can apply voltage division rule to find out the open circuit voltage. If I apply that, I got 2.57 volts. What will be the Thevenin's equivalent resistance? Can anyone find and let me know? Try to solve it. Thevenin equivalent resistance. So to find out Thevenin equivalent resistance, you have to find out what is the resistance between the terminals A and B if you are looking into the network. Okay, that means you are looking from right hand side towards left hand side at this point between terminals A and B, and all voltage sources needs to be short circuited. If any current sources are there, you needs to be open circuit. So what is the Thevenin's equivalent resistance? Find out.
Fifty-five by 7, sir.
55 by 7.
55 by 7. So what is that value approximately? Maybe 7 7 49 and something
7.8.
like 7.8. Okay.
7.857.
7.9, sir.
Okay, 7.9. Let's see how you have done.
Sir, in place of 9 volts independent voltage source, we kept a wire, sir.
Okay, short circuit.
And from looking from the 5 ohm resistor, we can find that 4 ohm and 6 ohm are in series, sir.
Okay.
And that combination is in parallel with another 4 ohm, sir.
Okay.
And the entire combination is in series with 5 ohm, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. That is correct. Whether everyone is able to understand this or not, I don't know. So what it happens is, if you see, right. So to find out Thevenin equivalent resistance, so this is what it will look like, the circuit. Here you have 9 volt source which needs to be replaced with a short circuit because the internal resistance for independent voltage source is 0. So 0 means it's almost like a conducting wire. Okay, that we have placed. So these are terminals A and B. Even though I have not written here, these are terminals A and B. So if you are looking into the network, you will observe that this 4 volts and this 4 ohms and 6 ohms are in series. So it will become 10 ohms, 10 in parallel with 4. Okay, 10 into 4 divided by 10 plus 4. Okay, that is in parallel. That entire thing will come in series with 5 ohms. That's what it is written here. So it is approximately 7.85. Okay, please understand which are in series and which are in parallel. Okay, so this is very important to understand when you are looking from this RTH side, Thevenin's equivalent resistance side. Okay, if you try to pump some current here, it will go in this fashion. and here it will break into two parts. Okay, the current flowing through this 4 ohms and 6 ohms is same, so that's why these two are in series. Okay, right, but the current flowing through this 4 ohms branch and this 10 ohms in total is different, that's why these two are in parallel. Okay, right, so 10 in parallel with 4, first you have to do that, then the result will be in series with 5 ohms. Okay, so that's why R1 R2 by R1 plus R2 plus 5, so that will be 7.85 ohms. This is the Thevenin equivalent resistance. So now you have got VOC or VTH and you have got RTH also. So now connect them back in this fashion. So VTH, which is 2.75 volts in series with 7.85 ohms, which is called as RTH. So this thing, circuit to the left of A and B in this figure, in the last figure, okay, is called the Thevenin equivalent circuit. Okay, so Thevenin equivalent circuit simply consists of voltage source in series with some resistance. That resistance is called as RTH, Thevenin equivalent resistance, and this voltage source is called as Thevenin's equivalent voltage. How you have to find, we have already seen. So VTH in series with RTH. So on the left of A and B, on the left of this dotted line is equal to the Thevenin equivalent circuit. Okay, so if I ask in the question, please switch off your mic, please switch off your mic. Right, so this is left of this dotted line is called as Thevenin equivalent circuit. So if I ask you only to find out the Thevenin equivalent circuit as seen by 2 ohms resistor, you can stop at this point. That means after finding VTH and RTH, draw this circuit and leave it, that's all. Okay, up to this left hand side of this dotted line is called as Thevenin equivalent circuit. Okay, so you have found out the Thevenin equivalent circuit, which was asked in the first question, the first part of the question. Second part of the question asks you to find out what is the current flowing through the 2 ohms resistor. Okay, since I have asked that, now you have to bring the network B and connect it back to this circuit. Okay, so that's what I have done here. 2 amperes is brought back and connected back to here. Okay, so now you have to find out, I have asked you to find out what is the current flowing through this 2 ohms resistor. So what will be that? I2 ohm is equals to voltage divided by total resistance, 2.57 divided by 7.85 plus 2, that is 0.26 amperes. Okay, if I have not asked what is the current flowing through 2 ohm resistor and simply ask what is the Thevenin equivalent as seen from terminals A and B, right, simply if you stop at this point, that is fine. Okay, since I have asked the current, that's why you have connected this 2 ohms resistor back and calculated this current, which is I is equals to 2.26 amperes. Is it clear? Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir.
In calculation of VOC, sir,
Yeah.
between 5 ohm resistance, there is no voltage.
Yeah. No voltage.
No
Voltage drop is 0. Why means current flowing through AB is 0 because it's open circuit. When there is no current, what will be the voltage across 5 ohm resistor? V is equals to I into R. I is equals to 0. 0 into 5 is equals to 0. So the voltage drop across. Yeah.
So that's why the across 4 ohm resistor, voltage across 4 ohm resistor is same as voltage across AB.
Yeah, correct. You are right. You are right. Since there is no current is flowing, so that's why the voltage across AB is same as voltage across 4 ohms.
But we when we apply join the 2 ohm resistor with A and B terminal, which is RL, then the voltage also drop with 5 ohm resistor as well as 2 ohm resistor.
That's what Thevenin equivalent resistance is. So okay, what it happens is, your question is very good. Okay, so you are saying that the effect of 5 ohm resistor, okay, in calculating VTH, the effect of 5 ohm resistor is not seen. Okay, so that effect is missing in calculating VOC. So will the result will be same? Okay, you mean whether our process is correct or wrong, right? But if you see that 5 ohm resistor effect is actually coming in calculating RTH. Okay, so if you see when you are calculating RTH, this 5 ohm is actually taken into account. Okay, so I understand. I mean, you are thinking about why this 5 ohm is not there. Because of that, my VTH might have got changed. Okay, but there is nothing wrong in what I have. I mean, what I have discussed. If you think, in that way, you will feel like that. But the value of 5 ohms is actually taken care in the calculating RTH. The impact and the effect of 5 ohms is already taken care in RTH. So whatever process we have adopted, that is exactly correct. Okay. So if you want to cross check this, okay. So with this method, you have found out the current flowing through 2 ohms resistor is something like 0.26 amperes, right? Now, if you want to cross check this, you can apply nodal analysis and find out what is the current flowing through 2 ohms resistor. Okay. In nodal analysis, what you will do, you have one reference node at the bottom, right? You will
Yes, sir.
have one reference node at the bottom and you have one voltage V1 needs to be found out. Okay. So, right. So this is your reference node at the bottom and this is V1 you can consider, and you apply nodal analysis and try to find out. So in nodal analysis, there is nothing like two parts of the circuit. Okay. Simply will apply KCL at this point and try to find out current flowing through 2 ohms resistor. You solve it, you will exactly get I2 ohms. I2 ohms will be 0.25, 0.26 amperes. Okay. Right. You can cross check with any method, whatever we have discussed it till now. Maybe nodal analysis or KCL, KVL, whatever it may be. In fact, okay, you can apply any method. You can cross check it, you will get the same 0.26 amperes. But only thing is, what are the rules that are followed when you are adopting Thevenin's theorem? What are the rules that are followed when you are applying superposition theorem? That you should be very clear. Okay. Okay. All methods will result to the same answer. Okay. Okay. So all methods, whatever analysis technique you use, it will result in the same answer. Okay. Right. If you want, you can take the very first problem what we have discussed and apply Thevenin's theorem, apply superposition theorem, whatever it may be, and you will get the same result. If you are not getting same result, then something you are doing wrong. Okay.
Sir,
Right. Yeah.
sir, what if in question instead of 2 ohm resistance we consider 4 ohm resistance as a load resistor?
Yeah, you can apply. What is the problem? Oh, wait, you mean middle one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then you have to disconnect this 4 ohms first point and find out the voltage across these two terminals. VOC. How to find
So
out?
how will we find the voltage in this case?
You don't know. You can apply any method, right?
Sir, to find voltage we have to connect those 2 points, those 2 endpoints.
You first of all you disconnect this 4 ohm resistor, okay,
Okay.
and denote VOC called as V open circuit, here VOC, here VOC, okay, positive, negative, and we call it as VOC, right? Find out the open circuit voltage across these two terminals. That means simply you find out the current flowing through the entire branch, right? You're understanding? Since it is open circuit, the current flowing through this entire series path will be how much?
5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4.
Yeah, so with this voltage divided by total resistance, na? This voltage divided by total resistance, that will give you current, right? Okay.
Sir, in this circuit, which 2 part we will consider?
What is your question?
Sir, if we consider 4 ohm resistor as a load resistance,
Yeah.
then the right part of the circuit will also be
No, not right part. You disconnect only 4 ohm resistor and whatever is seen, that is called as circuit A. Right. That is called as circuit A. I mean, that means network A.
Okay.
Is it clear? Right. So that is called as network A. Then you have to find out the voltage across these two terminals. VOC. Okay, right. That will be your VTH. Okay, and you have to find out the equivalent resistance. That means that will be 10 in parallel with 7 maybe. Okay, that will be your Thevenin's equivalent resistance. Okay, so now you connect both of them back. Then you will get the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Then you connect 4 ohms back, and then you find out the current flowing through it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and that's why if there is some circuit is there where the middle branch is asked, better not go for Thevenin's theorem. Okay, so that's why based on the circuit you have to choose which method I will go. Maybe I will apply nodal analysis, or I will apply Kirchhoff's voltage law, or mesh analysis, or Thevenin's theorem, or superposition theorem. That you have to. If you practice, you will understand better which one to apply. Okay. Right. If you see that in that fashion, if you want to find out what is the current, maybe mesh analysis will be very easy to solve. Okay, instead of going for Thevenin's theorem network, or nodal analysis will also will be easy to solve your problem. Okay, right. So that's why by seeing the circuit, we can choose which method will be good. Okay, right. If you go with Thevenin's medium, it will make you a little bit complex, because the circuit here will be what will be seen at the middle of the entire network. Okay, that means you will have this part, you will have this part also to find out VOC. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how we can apply Ohm?
Apply across
6 ohm
the 6 ohm resistor. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if that is the case, why to go Thevenin's theorem? First of all, you say me. Okay. So this 5 and 2 are there. Make it 7. 7 into 4, you make it, parallel. So that is again 6 ohms. That means you will have VTH and some resistance and 6 ohms in series. You are understanding, na?
Yes, sir.
There is no need to go to this Thevenin's theorem. Simply because you are interested in only finding what is happening in 6 ohms, reduce the entire network straight away. Na? So 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 in parallel with 4. That will be, something you will get. So that is some value you are getting. So some resistance in series with 4 and series with 6. Okay, right. So straight away you can solve the solution. Okay, there is no need to go to Thevenin's. Okay, even if you want to go to Thevenin's, then you will have 7 ohms, 4 ohms, and some value of resistance here connected here, and you have to disconnect this part. Right. So that's why if you are interested only in something which is very close to the source, there is no need to go for Thevenin's theorem. Okay, you can use any method. Okay, if you are something which is very far from your source, that means extreme left, usually Thevenin's theorem we will apply when the resistance is extremely very far from the source. That means extreme left or extreme right. Okay, that's all. In that scenarios, the application of Thevenin's theorem will be easy to solve. Okay, right. In other cases, better to go for different methods. Okay, any method you can adopt that will give you the same result. Okay. Okay then. So coming to Norton's theorem, right? So this is actually, complementary to your Thevenin's theorem. Okay, right. So what it says is, it says that in a linear circuit, it is possible to replace everything except the load resistance with an independent current source in parallel with a resistance Rn. Okay, the method to find out Rn is same as the method to find out RTH. Okay, nothing is going to vary. Both are same. Since it is Norton's theorem, we denote it with Rn, but the method of calculating Rn is same as RTH. Okay. The response measured by the load resistance will remain unchanged. That means if you are converting the circuit, this complex network, into this format with an independent current source in parallel with Rn, Norton's resistance, right? The result, that means the study what you are considering here as well as in here, remains the same. Okay, so the steps are almost similar to the previous case. Given a linear circuit rearranged in the form of two networks A and B, okay, connected by two wires. Network A is the network to be simplified. Okay, That's what we have seen in that case also. Network B is left untouched. Okay, right. As before, if either network contains a dependent source, its controlling variable must be in the same network. That means if there is some dependent source, it should be in the same network, and we are not going to change the dependent source. It will remain as it is. Okay. Point 2, disconnect network B and short the terminals of network A. That is the difference between Thevenin's and Norton's theorem. In that case, we have disconnected the load resistance and open circuited the terminals A and B and find out the open circuit voltage in the case of Thevenin's theorem. Here what you will do is, instead of open circuiting, you will short circuit the terminals of network A. Okay. Once you short circuit, some current will flow. Okay. Define the current ISC as a current now flowing through the short circuit terminals of network A. That means there you have find out the open circuit voltage. Here you have to find out the short circuit current. That's all. That is the only difference between the two methodologies. Right. You have to short circuit the terminals A and B and find out the short circuit current. Denote it as IN or ISC, whatever it may be. IN and ISC are same. Okay, almost same. Right. So you have to find out the short circuit current. To find out the Norton resistance, it is exactly same as Thevenin's case. Turn off every independent source in the network A to form an inactive network. Leave the dependent sources unchanged. Okay, right. And you have to find out the Norton's resistance Rn, looking into those terminals. Okay, connect an independent current source with value ISC in parallel with the inactive network. Okay. Do not complete the network, leave the two terminals disconnected. That is called as Norton's equivalent circuit. And then connect network B to the terminals of network A to find out what is happening in network B. The rules are exactly same. Only thing is here you have to find out the short circuit current. Okay, we will see with an example. Right. Find the Thevenin and Norton's equivalent circuit for the network faced by 2 kilo ohms resistor. That's what is the question. Okay. So first we will see what is the Thevenin's equivalent, and next we will see what is the Norton's equivalent also for this example. So what you have to do? Form a dotted line at this point, disconnect this resistor, denote the voltage across these two as VOC, and find out the open circuit voltage VOC. Okay, that will be your VOC. To find out RTH, what will happen? Disconnect these terminals and look into these two terminals. Can anyone say what will be the RTH for this network? To this left hand side. 1 kilo ohm you have removed and find out what is RTH. What will be that value?
2 kilo. 2
5
kilo.
kilo.
5
How
kilo.
much?
5 kilo.
Yeah, it will be 5 kilo ohm. Because voltage is short circuited, current is open circuited. If you are looking from this open circuit terminals, 2K and 3K are in series, so it will become 5 kilo ohms is the RTH. Okay, right. We will see that anyway. Okay, so if you see here, I have disconnected this 1 kilo ohm and denoted A and B terminals with VOC. Now I have to find out this open circuit voltage. I can adapt any method. Okay, so here I applied superposition principle. Okay, if you want, many methods are available to find out the open circuit voltage. So what is the first point? When it is open circuit, the current flowing through the 3 kilo ohms is 0. Clear? So you have to find out the voltage across this 2 milliamperes source. Okay. You can apply superposition theorem, or if some other method is also there, you can apply that also. Right. If you apply superposition theorem for this network, what you have to do? You have to consider only one source at a time. Okay. Let's say I have considered 4 volt source. This 2 milliampere source needs to be open circuited. So what will be the open circuit voltage across these two terminals? You are understanding, right?
Yes, sir.
Superposition theorem states that now this is a circuit now you are analyzing. Our objective is to find out open circuit voltage. Our objective is to find out open circuit voltage. Yeah, 4 volts. Open circuit voltage. When it is open circuited and considering only one source, there are 2 sources. So I am considering to find VOC at 2 stages. At stage 1, current source is open circuit. When current source is open circuit, this is the circuit which you are left with. So what will be the voltage? When it is open circuit, no current flows. The entire 4 volts will come and appear across these 2 terminals. Right. That is called as VOC1, which is 4 volts. Next, the same circuit, only current source is present and DC needs to be short circuited. So that's the scenario here. So what is happening? 2 milliamperes will flow in this direction only because this is open, no current will flow. So what will be the voltage across 2 milliamperes? If you consider this as reference, right? So that will be 2 milliamperes flow in this direction. So 2 milli into 2K. So that will be equals to again 4 volts. Right. So the contribution of voltage with this voltage source alone is 4 volts. With this current source is alone is 4 volts. So what is the net voltage appearing across these 2 terminals? It should be 8 volts. Okay. Right. Anyway, you kept it aside. Maybe 8 volts. Let's see that. Okay. What are the Thevenin's equivalent resistance? Same network you have to see in this direction. That is this way. Voltage source needs to be short circuited. Current source needs to be open circuited. If you see that, you will observe that there are 3K and 2K in series. So total will be 5K. This is RTH. To draw the Thevenin's equivalent circuit, you have to find out VTH in series with RTH. Right. So total VTH will be VOC1 plus VOC2, which is nothing but 8 volts. Okay. Why means both are having same polarity. This is positive, this is negative. You found out to be 4 volts. This is positive, this is negative. You found out to be 4 volts. So 4 plus 4, you can straight away add. So total will be 8 volts in series with RTH, which is 5K. Right. So this part is Thevenin equivalent circuit, and this is network B, which you have brought it back and connected. So if I ask you the question to find out what is the Thevenin equivalent circuit, okay, as seen from 2 ohm resistor, then you have to remove this and find out only VTH and RTH and connect in this fashion. That's all. There is no need to connect 4 kilo ohm, 1 kilo ohm back. Okay. If you stop at this point itself, that is the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Okay. Right. So Thevenin's equivalent circuit connected to 1 kilo ohm is this one. Right. So now you will see what is Norton's equivalent circuit. Okay. Right. What could be the Norton's equivalent current? Can anyone say? Simply convert this voltage source in series with 5 kilo ohms into a current source with a parallel resistor. So 8 volts divided by 5K, that will be your IN.
0.6 amperes.
Yeah. It was given K here. Okay, you remember that. 8 divided by 5K. Right. So that will be your IN. And same 5K will be coming in parallel. Okay. But anyway, we will not go there straight away. We will try to solve step by step. Okay. To find out Norton's equivalent circuit, what we have to do? Same thing. Disconnect terminals A and B and replace with a short circuit. There.
Sir, please can you show the previous slide, sir?
Yeah. Any doubt in this?
No, sir. I just wanted to copy. One second, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Done, sir. Done, sir. Done, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Right. So to find out the Norton's equivalent circuit, remember you are finding the Norton's equivalent circuit only for network A. Right. You are finding the Norton's equivalent circuit only for the network A. That means to the left hand side of this dotted line only. That is called as Norton's equivalent circuit. You are trying to minimize this entire circuit into a form where a current source and a resistance are in parallel. That's all. That is called as Norton's equivalent circuit. You are not taking network B into consideration when you are finding the Norton's equivalent circuit. Is it clear? You are disconnecting,
Sir.
and next you are finding the method. What is the method? First you disconnect, next replace with a short circuit. That is the first step you have to do. Okay, and after short circuiting, denote it with as ISN and give a specific direction to it. Okay, current flowing from top to bottom, and ISC is the denotation you have given representation. So ISC is nothing but IN. Okay, right. So now you have to find out ISC. You can apply nodal analysis or whatever it may be to find out ISC. Okay, so I think I have applied here nodal analysis. What will be the expression? This is your reference. This is voltage V1. V1 minus 4 divided by 2K, that is your first term. Minus 2 milliamperes is your second term. And third term will be V1 divided by 3K is equals to 0. Clear? So you have only one unknown here, which is V1. So you can solve it. You observe V1 to be 4.8 volts. Okay. Now what is ISC? ISC will be
4.8 by 3.
right, 4.8 by 3K base. Yeah. So you know the voltage, simply divide that with this corresponding resistor in that particular branch. Right. So that will be your ISC. So, right. So 4.8 divided by 3K, 1.6 milliamperes. Okay. That is your ISC. Okay. So to draw the equivalent circuit, Norton's equivalent circuit, you have to find out ISC. That part is done. Next, you have to find out RTH. How to find out RTH? Remember, the method to find out RTH or RN is same. Whether it's Thevenin's theorem or Norton's theorem, the method to find out RTH is same. That means you will disconnect and just look into the terminals of A and B to find out RTH. Right. So it will be the same thing. Disconnected and looking into those terminals. Current source open circuited, voltage source short circuited. You observe to be 5K. Right. So connect this current source ISC value in parallel with this 5K. So that is called as Norton's equivalent circuit. The circuit to the left of this dotted line is called as Norton's equivalent circuit. Okay. If I ask you to find out the Norton's equivalent circuit, maybe I will give you the question in such a way that there will not be any 1 kilo ohm here. I will simply denote A and B. Find the Norton's equivalent circuit as seen from terminals A and B. That's all. What you have to do? You have to find out ISC in this fashion. You have to find out RN or RTH in this fashion. Okay. Then you connect both of them in parallel and leave the terminals A and B open. That's all. That is your Norton's equivalent circuit. Right. So Norton's equivalent circuit is the one which is shown on the left hand side of this dotted line. You have to leave the A and B terminals open. That's all. That is the Norton's equivalent circuit. If you cross check this with your Thevenin's theorem, you see here you have 8 and 5. 8, that means these two are only the Thevenin's equivalent circuit, right? So 8 divided by 5K, you observe, you will get some current. That current will be same as this value, 1.6 milliamperes. Okay. And RTH is, you have to connect in parallel there. This is connecting in parallel here. That means you are understanding, na? If you convert this, if you consider this part as a practical voltage source, you simply convert this practical voltage source into an equivalent current source. You should have a current source in parallel with a resistor, right? That is what is shown here, right? Is it clear?
So that means we can find the Thevenin or the Norton source and convert it. Where we can use any way to find both. We can use any one way to find both.
You can use any one way to find both. Okay. If I specifically ask you use Norton's theorem, then you have to adopt this method. Okay. If I simply ask you find out what is the current flowing in 1 kilo ohm resistor, you can apply Thevenin and find out. You can apply Norton and find out. You can apply nodal analysis and find out whatever methodology, your choice. Okay, the finding RTH is same in both the cases. In Norton's theorem or Thevenin's theorem, RTH finding is same. In Thevenin's theorem, you are finding open circuit voltage across terminals A and B. In Norton's theorem, you are finding the short circuit current flowing from A to B. That is the only difference. Right. Right. So Norton's theorem states that I will have an current source in parallel with equivalent resistance. Thevenin's theorem states that I will have an independent voltage source in series with RTH. That's all.
Sir, in case of a dependent voltage source or
Yeah.
a dependent current source, sir, how will that affect the RTH value that we'll get? Because we
Okay.
are keeping it changed. So
Okay. So if you have a dependent voltage source, that needs to be remained as it is. You are not going to, alter it. You are not going to do any changes for that. Only voltage source is short circuited and current source is open circuited when you are finding RTH. Okay. Right. Usually, if you have dependent source, to find out RTH, it is not so simple what we have discussed in these two problems. Okay. Why means all the voltage sources are short circuited and all the current sources are open circuited. So there is no source or there is no force to drive your charge or force current to flow. Okay. So how to find out RTH? Okay. That is a big question for us. So how you will adapt that time is you will assume a 1 volt source across the open circuit terminals. You are understanding, na? You will assume 1 volt applied across the A and B terminals, right? So find out the current flowing out of that open circuit terminals, that 1 volt source. You are understanding or not? In that scenario, you have disconnected A and B terminals. A and B terminals are open circuit, and all the voltage sources are short circuited. All the current sources are open circuited. So there is no independent source to force current to flow your circuit. Okay. To find out RTH in that scenario, you will assume a 1 volt source. You will connect intentionally. You will connect 1 volt between terminals A and B, and find out the current flowing from terminal A into the network. Right. If you find the current flowing through the terminal A into the network, you can adopt any method, maybe nodal analysis or mesh analysis or whatever maybe. Your objective is to find out current flowing from the terminal A into the network. Simply divide that 1 volt with this current. That will give you RTH.
okay, sir. Got it.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is a little bit tricky question and a little bit tricky to solve also. Okay.
Sir, we will always assume 1 volt.
Yeah. You can assume 5 volts also. If you use 5 volts, simply divide 5 divided by the current flowing from the terminal A. Okay. You understood now? Let's say this is a circuit.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Here there is no dependent source, but there is no need to apply that method. If there is any dependent source, okay, right. What you will do is between A and B, you connect 1 volt source. That means 1 volt independent voltage source. 1 volt. Okay. And find out what is the current flowing from terminal A into the network. Fine. Okay. Simply divide that 1 volt with the current flowing into the network. That will give you RTH. In fact, when there is no dependent source also, you can adopt that method. You are understanding?
Yes, sir.
If you have doubt, you connect here now. 1 volt. 1 divided by 5k will be your current flowing. So 1 divided by again 5k will be, you have to find out resistance now. R is equals to V by I. So V divided by the corresponding current whatever you got, that will give you again 5k. You
Yes.
understood?
Yes.
So even though there is no dependent source, you can adopt this method of connecting 1 volt source and trying to find. Okay, but there is no need because there are no dependent source in your circuit. But
And
if
sir,
there,
for finding in the Thevenin's theorem, for finding the VTH, there the dependent voltage source will play no role.
Dependent voltage source, if there are there, they will remain as it is. You are not going to touch them. They will be in the circuit.
Okay, sir.
They will remain. Always remember, when you are finding VTH in Thevenin's theorem or finding short circuit current ISC in Norton's theorem, dependent sources will remain as it is. We are not going to touch them at all. Okay.
Oh, yes, sir. Got it. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
When you find RTH, also they remain as it is. So you have to assume a 1 volt source at the open circuit terminals and find that 1 voltage divided by the corresponding current leaving from terminal A. That will give you RTH. Okay. But there are no dependent source in your circuit. There is no need to you apply that method. You can straight away solve with this. Okay. So this is some complex circuits. Till now we have seen only simple circuits. So I am not going to solve this, but I will say what is the methodology, what we have discussed. I will summarize. Okay. So if you observe that this problem was already solved by us using nodal analysis in the past examples. Okay. If you want, you can apply Thevenin's theorem and find out what they have asked in that question. Okay. All right. You are understanding now? Go to the previous example what we have already discussed. See what they have asked there and try to apply Thevenin's theorem and find out what they have asked in that problem. You will get the same result. That means you will using Thevenin's theorem you will get the same result. You will Norton's theorem you will get the same result. You will using nodal analysis you will get the same result. Okay. So I will simply describe what is the method to approach. That's what I'm not going to solve it. Okay. Right. So what is the process first you have to do? Let's say find the Thevenin and Norton equivalent circuit as seen by 5 ohm resistor. So mark a dotted line on the left hand side of 5 ohms resistor. Mark the terminals A and B. To find out Thevenin's equivalent, you have to disconnect that 5 ohms resistor. Right. I have disconnected. So this is what is seen. Now you have to find out the open circuit voltage across A and B terminals. Right. You can apply any method to find out VOC. Maybe nodal analysis will be better. Okay. Find out VOC for this method. Okay. Right. You can find, na? You have 3 nodes, node 1, node 2 and node 3, and one reference node will be at the bottom, and you will find out the voltage VOC across A and B terminals. That means nothing but voltage across this minus 25 amperes current source. Remember, when you are finding VOC, these all remain as it is. Nothing we are going to change. When you find RTH only, current source will be open circuited. Right. So you follow Thevenin's method and find out VOC. Okay. Next you have to find out RTH for this circuit. How you will do that? To find out RTH, you have to open circuit all the current sources. If you see there are 3 current sources, I have disconnected all the 3 and trying to find out RTH from the terminals A and B. How it will look like? It will look in this fashion. Right. If you closely observe, current is coming in this fashion. Let's say it will be this 4 ohms and 3 ohms are actually in series because this is open circuit. This 4 and 3 are in series. Right. So that will become 7. So 7 is in parallel with 7. Right. So 7 7s are 49 divided by 14 something you will get. Okay, maybe 3.5 you will get. Right. So that 3.5 added to 1 will give you 4.5. So this is the RTH for this network to the left of terminals A and B. Okay. You have to find out VTH. So once you find VTH, this RTH should be connected in series to find the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. This is what that. Okay. Then you connect the 5 ohms resistor back and find out what is the current flowing in this. You're understanding? So you apply this method and find out what is the current flowing through 5 ohms resistor. And you apply nodal analysis straight away to this method. Now we have already applied in the past. If you check it, nodal analysis method was already applied for this circuit in the previous examples. You will find the current flowing through the 5 ohms resistor in that case, and the current flowing through the 5 ohms resistor in this case will be exactly same. Okay. This is for your better understanding. I have given this example because we have discussed only simple problems. If you see, this seems to be very complex, right? You can apply Thevenin's theorem and you can convert this entire circuit, actual circuit given, into this form. Okay. This looks very simple and easy for understanding for us. Okay. Usually this method, Thevenin's theorem, is applied only when you are interested only in studying one particular element. Okay. What is happening in this 5 ohm resistor? I want to know. In that scenario, we will apply Thevenin's or Norton's theorems to simplify the circuit and clearly understand what is happening in this 5 ohms. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. With this, the DC circuit part is done. Okay, and you have got that Google Classroom related link, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, but most of you have not registered. I could see only 66 people have joined in that. Okay, so please try to join. If you have already joined, it will. It will only say that you have already joined. Okay, if you have not joined, please try to join as early as possible. Okay. Today's video and the last class video I have not given you, so those two will be uploaded in Google Classroom only. Okay, so you go there, then you will see with date I will give you. Okay, so that link you open, you will get the recorded video of today's class and previous class. Maybe from first class I will upload all in the Google Classroom. Okay, so all recorded videos will not be sent by mail from now. It will be available in Google Classroom only. So try to join there and get the recorded videos for better understanding. And coming to exam, tomorrow I have planned, but it will be in Google Classroom since most of you have not joined. So tomorrow you will not have exam on DC circuits. But whatever I have covered till now, that will be there for your exam as test 1. Okay, so that will be sometime in the next week. I will let you know. Okay, clear. So
Excuse me, sir.
exam will be in Google Classroom only. All of you should join in Google Classroom, otherwise you will not be able to write exam. Okay, is it clear?
So, sir, can you give us some problem solving sheets, sir? We are having, if possible, sir.
What you are asking?
Sir, any problem solving sheets?
Problem solving sheets.
You want some example problems? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will try to. That also I will send in Google Classroom only. Maybe today or tomorrow I will give. You will have 3 days time to study. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, maybe some week next week you will have exam. Okay. See, problem solving means whatever method I have discussed it till now, that is good enough. But if you want to practice more, take the first problem what you have discussed and apply different methods on that. You are understanding what I am saying?
Yes, sir, I'm understanding. Sir.
Anyway, I will give you some 5 to 6 problems. You can apply any method, Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, nodal analysis, whatever maybe. I will give you answer also at the end. What you will get the answer. Okay, right. So that answer you should get by any method you adopt. Okay, you can apply all methods and practice.
Yes, sir. Actually, the main problem which I am facing is, sir, in the superposition principle, sir. Else everything is means I can understand, sir.
Okay then. So I will give you the question and the end answer only in the problem. You try to solve it. Okay, if your answer is not matching with the answer what I have given, then you have done wrong. So try to apply some other method and see whether you are getting, and then try to do superposition also. Okay, all methods will give you the same result, that is sure. Okay, so I will give you 5 to 6 problems by today or tomorrow. So it will be uploaded in Google Classroom only. So join there and download that problem sheet and solve. Okay, that is for your practice only. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay then, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye. So tomorrow you will not have class, you will not have exam also. Clear? So
Okay,
tomorrow there is no exam, no class. Monday only we will meet in class. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Could we upload the answer sheet, sir?
No. Everything will be in Google Classroom only. I will give you the problem and I will give you the answer only. I will not solve it. Okay. If I solve and give, then there is no point, right? I will give you, let's say I ask you to find out current, I will give you the current is this much amperes. So you find out any method, apply any method and find out. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Sir,
Okay. Okay.
Thank
That's
you,
fine. Okay. Fine. So Monday we will meet. Okay.
sir, regarding test some,
Yeah. Any question?
yes, sir. Sir, regarding test,
Hmm.
how we upload questions?
That you don't worry. Okay.